Hello everyone, Kryptonite here and welcome back to another video. So in this Farthest Frontier video we're going to be continuing with our beginner's guide. I've already covered the beginner's guide to year 1 and year 2. I'll leave the links down in the description below for them. Highly recommend you watch them first. And in this video we're going to continue with year 3. Make sure you hit that like button. If there's any other questions you have about the game, make sure you drop a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer it. And make sure you hit that subscribe button to continue supporting me. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so welcome everyone to Farthest Frontier again. So we're in year 3. Let's continue with our beginner's guide in year 3. So what we're going to start with in year 3, now we've got pretty much all the basic resources all set up ready. What we're going to do is we're going to plan for future expansion. So what you want to do is you want to build some more houses to start with. So we're just going to build some more shelters over this direction, and don't forget to leave a 2 tile wide. What we're going to do is we're going to pop this one a bit further down. We're going to pop one there and we're going to do another one there, and we're just going to do another sort of 6 houses. Just going to pop them ones there, and we're going to pop a couple along here as well. So that's a few more houses built ready for our new residents. And the next thing we want to bear in mind now we've put more houses down is that we're going to need more water. So we're going to need to place some more wells. So if we go into the build menu and we go into resources again, we click on the basic well. As you can see, when we go to place it down, it highlights certain houses that it will distribute water to. So this one over here, for instance, isn't providing water to these 2 over here. Over here isn't reaching them 2 at the back. So there's no way for them wells there to reach these houses over here. So we're going to place a well. I think here should be a good place to put it. That should cover these ones as well. We'll place one there, and we're going to place another one over here as well, just for another sort of future expansion. I think we'll pop another well over here, and that should sort our water situation out over there. So while our farm is still being sort of constructed, once it is constructed, we'll go over the basics of farming and we'll get our farm going. But we're going to do some more future planning now. So your hunter shacks will eventually run low on tools, and basically it will say that they are low on ammunition. You'll get a little warning come up. So what we're going to do is going to build a Fletcher shop. So if we go into the build menu and we go into resources just here, we can build the Fletcher building, which produces arrows and bows. It requires wood but produces them too, which is perfect for your hunters and obviously your defenses if you aren't playing on pacifist mode. So we're going to build this relatively close to our hunters but still in the vicinity of our town center. So I think here will be a good idea right next to the storage. That seems like a pretty good place to put it over there. Now I am struggling to produce quite a lot of wooden planks, so on my saw pit I have added all my workers into there, so we should be producing more planks more regularly. So the next thing we're going to do is in year 2 we put a forager over here to harvest the willow bushes for our basket shop to be able to make baskets so our residents can carry more resources. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to build a cobbler shop, which is in buildings and resources. And what this does is this uses the hides from your hunting and produces shoes, which allows your villagers to walk quicker. Looks like we've got a storm coming in as well. We've got some lightning going on. So what we're going to do is place this one here. So our field is now ready. So we'll go into the farming a little bit. So we'll just pause the game just because there's quite a little bit to go through and I don't really want the time to fly past too quickly. So if we click onto our field, we have this sort of menu here. Now this can be a bit daunting at first, but once you sort of get your head around how it all works, it's not too bad. So we have here a crop rotation. So we've got 1, 2 and 3. Now these are years. So this is year 1, year 2, year 3. Not overall game year, but obviously your build age. And then over here we've got yield factors. If you need more information on these, we can hover over this and it just says impact on yield. So we've got quite a high weed level here, and we've got rockiness as well. So when we're selecting our crops, we need to bear these in mind and match them sort of thing. We also have here a soil mixture. Now don't worry about this until you have your crops laid, but I'll explain that briefly anyway. So what we can do is click on here to add crops, and we've got a variety of crops here. So the key things to point out in these is when you are planting your crops, the size of the bar here is how much of this year it will take. So considering we're at the start of the year, we kind of going into sort of spring. So we want to try and find crops that don't mind temperature. For instance, like the flax, the heat tolerance is 10 out of 10, so that would be pretty perfect. Now if you are planting towards this time of the year, sort of towards the end, you want to focus on sort of crops that have a good frost tolerance. Now cabbage is a prime example of something that is good for all year round. We've got great heat tolerance and great frost tolerance, whereas the carrots would be perfect to plant nearer the winter time. Won't be producing any crops at all in winter, it sort of stops just before, but towards the end of the year carrots are brilliant for that. So we have a bit more a look inside the stats themselves. So you've got your crop yield, which is how much that crop will sort of provide you with once it's planted. So obviously the bigger the number, the better that is. Now you've also got rockiness resilience. So if you've got a high rockiness here, we're at 45%, which isn't too bad. We want to look for something which has got really high rockiness resilience, like the cabbage for instance. Now the cabbage wouldn't be any good for us on our land as the weed suppression isn't great and we've got quite a high weed level. The other things to bear in mind as well is your impacts fertility and your fertility dependence. So cabbage is quite high on dependent on fertility, so we want a high fertility number here. So I think to start off in year one, I think we're going to go for, let's see, something with a good weed suppression. So probably the rye, to be honest. So we'll go for the rye, and as you can see, we are already this much through the year, so it's going to take up quite a bit of space here. Now what you can do for your weed level is it is a bit too high, is you can do this here. So if you set a farmer to field maintenance, it will lower the weed level and the rockiness. So we'll definitely do that as ours are quite high. Now another thing that you can plant in your fields is this one down here, which is a clover. This will increase the fertility of your land. As you can see in its stats, it impacts fertility by 3%. That's also another good one that you want to do as well. So as you can see, when we click on the rye, for instance, we just planted, the soil mixture for the rye, we want to try and get it into the green. So if we just add sand, so it goes sort of here for plus 10 bonus, then that's pretty much how we want to do it. So let's quickly sort out year 2 and 3, and then we'll go on to the next part of the guide. I think we'll go for a cabbage, and I think we'll grow some clover as well to increase our fertility for the next crop. What I like to do is do a mixture of planting a crop and then maintenance as well after that, ready for the next one that's been planted. I will be doing a full guide video on farming, which will go into everything in a lot more detail. So make sure you subscribe to keep your eyes open for that one. That will be coming out very soon. Then lastly, I think we'll go for the beans, And lastly for year 3, I think we'll go for the beans. And then I think we'll go for some buckwheat as well. And I think that will be pretty much it for our farm. I think that seems like a pretty good start. Now we have our farm set up. We've got a couple of upgrades to make our residents move a little quicker, and now we have our market build in year 2, and we are currently gaining taxes of 10 per month. Shortly it will be time to upgrade our town. So what we need is 50 wood planks now to upgrade our town center to level 2. So we basically just need to focus on getting our planks. So we've got 100% work rate, which is absolutely brilliant. Got 4 workers in there, so now it's just basically time. At the moment our planks are all being used building our cobbler shop, so I think we'll prioritize that so we can get that built as quickly as possible. So another thing to bear in mind with your fields is you want to protect it from wildlife, especially if you're not playing in pacifist mode. So what we can do is go into buildings, go onto walls and roads, and what we want to do is want to build a fence. Now you also want to make sure that you put a fence gate in there as well, otherwise your villagers won't be able to access it. So we'll place our gate down first. We'll just pop our fence gate there, and then we'll head back into the build menu and we'll get our fence. What we want to do is we just want to like this. That's what I said in previous year, to make sure you leave 1 tile gap around the outside, so you can make sure you build your fence in there. So the fence will build, and that will protect our farm from any wildlife stealing our crops. So we have our cobbler shop. We have our cobbler shop built now. So we will be producing shoes for our villagers to walk a bit quicker. So this is a prime example of how important wells are. So we have a house that's on fire. We've got a load of villagers here gathering water from the well. They're going to be be rushing over and putting the fire out. So this is why I said wells are important, not only to supply your houses with water, but also for putting out fire. And there we go. As you can see, we're a bit too efficient because now we've got a load of buckets of water lying around, but not to worry, I'm sure they'll put them away. Another thing to note as well is to do with food spoilage. So we have our smokehouse over here, which dries our meat to extend the time our food lasts, but we can do one better than that. We go into buildings and we can now purchase the root cellar. Now what the root cellar does is partially underground and it stores the food at a reliable temperature, reducing the rate of spoilage even further. So you also want to be building one of these. I tend to like to keep mine next to my smokehouse just so they're kind of together. So we're just going to pop one of them down, and then once that's built we just need 20 more planks and then we can upgrade to tier 2. So there we are, we're coming to the end of year 3 now. We have our required planks and now we can upgrade our town center to tier 2. So let's go ahead and upgrade our town center. So as you can see, it requires 50 planks and 25 stone. We've got plenty of them, so we're going to prioritize this and get this done. Now upgrading your town center is a key part of this game to be able to upgrade your buildings. So say for instance the root cellar we just bought, our next tier is tier 2, but it requires town center tier 3. So we won't be able to upgrade buildings until we get to town center tier 3. We can upgrade our shelters at tier 2, so that's another bonus of obviously upgrading our town center. But also the other bonus is if we go here into our buildings menu, it allows us to build lots of things like a healer's house and trading post and various other things. So if you do want me to go through a guide on tier 2 as well, drop me down a comment down below and let me know, and I will definitely think about doing a video on progressing through tier 2. If you want to see a playthrough of this game, then also let me know down in the comments down below. And if you did enjoy this video and have found it helpful, make sure you hit that like button and also make sure you subscribe for more content. So thank you everyone for watching and see you in the next video.